introduction. David, I'm very professional.
Action.
So, hello and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Lives, Thrives and Mental Health Dives. I am here with someone that needs no introduction. It's David.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want me to say your last name?
If you want, yeah, you can say
David
the full name.
Potts.
Yeah.
What's your middle name?
James.
David Jane Potts. James
Jane,
Potts.
not Jane, it's James.
Are you related to Paul Potts?
Oh my God. There was like a thing on Twitter where like people were saying that much, like Paul Potts got so fuming and he like tweeted saying, I am not related to David Potts.
Why was he fuming? If anything, it'd be you that's fuming.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
I've got the vocals out of the two of us. Do you know
do,
what I mean?
and the looks.
Yeah.
Yes. So the theme of today's podcast is actually to talk about everything kind of like gossip, TV related, because that's how David and I actually know one another, is we have worked together on Pantomime, haven't we?
We have.
And we've actually like known a few mutual people. We met up in London. Do you remember that? With with Nathan Henry. And we just like know a few mutual people, and we just thought it'd be an interesting little gossip session to dish the dirt.
The dirt of the dirt. The filthy dirt.
The filthy fucking dirt. The panto, just as a starting point. The panto was a fever dream.
I mean, at what point, like, where do we start? Like, where are we going?
So we'll start. We met at the panto, it was like two titans colliding.
Well, we didn't actually both know that we were doing the panto, because when we walked in for that, our like fittings, we were trying all our costumes on. I was like, Tessa, what are you doing here?
Yes!
And he was like, I'm Cinderella. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
That's in real life as well. Cinderella, yeah, it was. And what were you in that? Dandini.
Dandini.
You were.
Yes.
So we didn't realise that we were both doing the panto. Then we were like, oh my fucking God, it's us. And then obviously we reconnected. And we were actually being directed at the time by a guy named Nick. I won't say his last name.
No.
We don't want to get sued.
No.
But Nick. Talk to us about Nick.
Nick was great.
Nick was a lot.
Great at being a psycho.
Yeah. Nick did this thing where he was like directing, but he'd also put himself in the show, but didn't memorise any of his lines.
No.
So we'd be trying to act with him. And when you're like doing acting and you're doing lines, like obviously you need to hear the other person's line.
Because it's like it is a story.
Yeah.
So it actually is a story. So it's just easier for you to remember. If you're having a conversation with somebody, if they give you their, like, you know what you're responding to.
You do.
Yeah.
And what we'd do is we'd all get up and we'd be like doing the lines, and then he'd be like, say his line was like, oh no, Cinderella, and that was a cue for someone to come in on stage. He'd literally be like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Not in the script.
And David and I just look at each other and we just mouth, not in the script.
That is not in the script, guys.
It's not in the fucking script.
I mean, we literally must have learned about 7 shows in that rehearsal, because everybody just kept chucking their own bits in. That was my first time ever doing panto.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, is this what it's like?
Yeah.
Because we're currently doing Cinderella, Pinocchio and Beauty and the Beast.
It's so true. And then I remember at the dress rehearsal, because Nick had been so disorganised, he was like, right, everyone stay until 5 a.m. And we were like, oh, right, and slave labour.
Yeah, and poor Anne Nolan, who was what, like 70-something, was like, guys, I've got to drive to Blackpool.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go home.
I
know.
That was tight.
Yeah.
But then in this fever dream of like, exhaustion, whatever. He asked me to get up on stage, didn't he? And then he was like, can we do the final scene? Now, when you're learning a script from start to finish, the final scenes are always like the most sketchy because you run them the least, don't you?
And they're so long. It's always the longest scene.
Yeah, it's always the longest scene. So I was kind of like still relying on a bit of like line prompting. And Nick, out of nowhere, just blew his lid.
Like blew.
Like literally was like, there's 1,000 girls waiting at the door to be Cinderella and I can have them here in a second.
And he was like, get out! out.
Oh my God, yeah. And I was like, what? Go into the street at 4 a.m?
And he was like, yeah.
Do you remember that we got told that there was a knife man in Bolton Street?
Yeah, someone told me. And I was like, I need to go and get Tessa. It was like, anything could happen here. So I'm like sprinting down the town of Bolton at 4 a.m. Like, Tessa, come back. There's someone with a knife. And it was just so dramatic.
But this is the thing that makes me laugh so much, because a panto by nature is actually meant to be like a wholesome Christmas thing for children.
Fun.
They don't have a fucking clue what goes on in the background.
Oh, not the audience. No idea.
Not a clue. They don't know that all the cast are usually shagging.
Yeah.
There's usually
you and Riley.
Me and Riley. Yeah, Riley, my gay co-star, who towards the end of the run was like, I don't know if I fancy you a bit. And I was like, me too. Both of us gay. Anyway, regardless. And then you necked him on the night out.
It was a dare. It was an absolute dare.
It wasn't in the script.
It wasn't. And for some reason, ever since then, which was about 7 years ago, you constantly use it as a birthday post on my Insta. And I just find it really disrespectful. And I'm actually going to bring it up right now. It's really rude. Because
you need to stop posting it.
You've got to stop.
I know, but it just really, really entertains me and the people.
It's horrendous.
You look like you're enjoying it.
The mouth to mouth size difference was the biggest issue on it.
I actually go. So we had this chaotic panto run. I was bullied by the director to the point where even Anne Nolan, as in of the Nolans.
Yeah, the Nolan sisters.
I'm in the mood for dance.
Remember when you didn't know that song though?
Yeah.
Because you didn't actually know that song, did
I
you?
didn't.
And when you was like, what's this song for the ghost gag? He was like, how dare you disrespect the Nolan sisters?
Oh, yeah.
And you
Sorry,
was like...
that was something else I got absolutely dragged across the coals for.
And you was like, I just don't know the song.
I just not heard it.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think I knew it that well.
No.
But Nick was also really good at joining in with us, weren't he?
Yes.
Joining in the jokes with us.
He was a smiling assassin.
And then all of a sudden, screaming.
At me.
Yeah, I mean...
To the point where Anne Nolan literally stood up one night and she was like, Nick, what is the problem with Tessa specifically? Because he kept being like, it's you. And I was like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story, very, very short. Nick came on stage for one night in the show, and then the next morning literally sent a text in the group chat where he was like, I'm flying back to LA and I'm done with you all. And we were like, but the show goes on in 3 hours.
Yeah. And we've got 2 shows today.
And we've got 2 shows, yeah. And even though we'd learned scripts for 7 shows, we had no one to stand in. And then we were made to like go and greet the people at the door of the theatre and say that there'd been some kind of medical emergency, which now looking back is actually kind of fucked up.
I think they said that there's something wrong with him or something.
They were like, he's had a serious health scare. And people were like, is he okay?
I mean, but
is it his heart?
He wasn't healthy.
Mental health.
Yeah, if you think about it, wasn't actually that healthy.
Yeah. Well, wherever he is, I hope he's happy.
Yeah.
And we wish him well.
We do wish him well.
But he was a real storm in a teacup.
Yeah, I just want to know if he'll direct a panto for me.
I actually want to know if he'll show anyone else's dick pics, because I actually was subjected to that.
You did ask for it.
I didn't.
You loved
He kept
him.
talking about his dick, and I was like, what's so good about this dick? And the next thing I was looking at it. And it was really awkward as well, because he was like, it's good dick, isn't it? And what are you going to say in that moment?
I'm just glad I opted out of looking. Like, that's all I'm going to say. That I was like...
You were like, I'm not interested.
No, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm actually all right, to be fair.
Yeah, it's so funny that now that I'm like out of the closet, so are you.
Always have been.
Yeah. Because at the time we were actually both texting Tinder men, weren't we?
Yeah,
Daryl and Gareth.
Right.
And they actually both ghosted us.
But at the same time.
At the same time. So I remember just feeling like that on top of my shoulders, as well as Nick, screaming at me.
It was too much.
There was a lot going on.
It's just weird, because when I went into the next panto, I thought, God, is this how it's going to be again? And it's just nothing like the first ever one I did.
No, because you did the same scripts, but you went to do the adult one.
Adult
and it was
version.
amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and now you love
it.
doing the adult ones,
I
don't
do.
you?
I love them.
I came to see you, didn't I?
You
I
did.
just stabbed myself in the mouth. But I came to see you in Colne.
Colne. What a vibe.
What a town.
What a vibe.
Town of glamour.
Gorgeous.
But yes, so the panto. We did it. We'd do it again.
I would absolutely do it again.
I'd do it again for the lols, I
yeah.
would. Sorry, I've just remembered something else. Do you remember that guy who was our only tech and light guy, and he'd turn up sometimes, and one time we found him asleep on the steps outside?
Will.
Will.
Oh, wow.
And I'm really sorry to say it, Will smelt so bad. I actually used to part my hair when he was when he was near me. You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, Tess, he fell asleep underneath the lighting bench upstairs. He come back from a night out in Bolton, let himself into the theatre straight after the night out, and went and slept under the lighting table.
And then came on stage like, mic checks. And we were all like, oh, right. And
You stink of Strongbow.
Oh, my God. He fucking hummed. And this is what I mean. There's like children in the front row, like, la, la,
Yeah.
la, la, la. And we have to be behind the curtain. And this is all going on.
Yeah, it's
What about our
crazy.
mental health?
I
You what
know.
I mean, mine wasn't affected, thankfully, but was
No,
yours?
actually, no.
We had such a vibe backstage.
Such a vibe.
We shared makeup.
We did. Well,
You
I
always-
mainly just used yours because I didn't really have any.
You always turned up with a 2-litre bottle of pop
Always.
to loosen the vocal cords.
I needed that thick, syrupy substance on my throat just to loosen them up for my song.
For your song.
For my song.
And then we'd have to listen to Riley warming up for 90 minutes.
And then telling you how to warm up vocally.
Because I'm not a professional singer at all. I just like get out there.
Yeah,
give it
but
my
you
best.
are good.
I give it my best. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
But so we do our own vocal warm up for mine and Anne's duet. Cinders is gone.
She's moving on. Obviously, I was.
And Riley, who's a very serious singer, would be like, guys, I'm going to go and steam my vocal cords. If you want to come in there and get serious, come.
And if you've got these ginger sweets, if you just want to suck on one of them for 5 minutes before we go on stage, it'll really help loosen the vocals.
Yeah, I'm sure those made my throat worse. He was trying to sabotage me.
Yeah, it was sabotaging, yeah.
It was literal sabotage. But yeah.
Prick.
So anyway, if you'd like to see me and David in Panto and you're a Panto director,
Then book us now.
book us now. We're a great Cinderella and Dandini. But yeah, so moving on to the TV stuff.
Yes.
So one of the things that I get asked a lot on my Instagram, because I used to do like tidbits.
Yeah.
Like days work here and there for MTV and Lab Bible.
Yeah.
And people were like, you would have bloody smashed that. Why didn't you take it full time? And I know that you, more than anyone, appreciate that's not how it works.
Absolutely, it really doesn't.
Do people say that stuff to you?
Like, oh, why don't you just do this? Or
Yeah.
like,
Why don't you just take over Good Morning Britain?
yeah, like,
and you're like, oh,
why don't you just present I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here? It doesn't work like that.
it doesn't.
You don't just hand your CV in.
No.
It's not.
like-
It's not an Indeed thing.
No, I compare it. It's kind of like being an actor. You know, like, unless you've got a recurring job like you do, where you've got a series that you come
Yeah.
back for. But even people that go on Love Island, they have one shot.
You've got one shot at it.
And then that's it. They're praying that they're going to get something else.
Yeah.
And not that was my experience, but like, I used to get a call from MTV and they'd be like, come and do 2 days this month. And it was like well paid. But then it'd be like, yeah, we'll keep you on the books and maybe we'll ring you in like another month. And people were like, go full time for MTV. And I was like, the offer's not there.
No, the offers aren't there. And they like what they like.
Yeah.
And if they like it, they're going to stick with it.
Yes.
They're not going to sack
Alison Hammond.
Alison Hammond
They're
so
not.
that I can take her spot because...
Yeah, everyone loves Alison.
Yeah, exactly.
I love her.
Icon.
Yeah.
Alison is an icon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, really not like that. And then, like you said, like with a lot of the shows, like Love Island and stuff, it's the next best thing.
Yeah.
But I was obviously lucky with Weekender. It was like a recurring thing. But I mean, I could have done one series and they could have just thought, nah.
I know, but you've actually kind of become like the centre point, haven't you, of that?
No.
What are you talking
No,
about?
we're all amazing.
But how did you even like hear about it? What was the audition like?
Oh my God. Do you know what? It was really weird. Either it was like my friend sent me a link on Facebook and it was like to like this, it looked like Indeed actually. So
Retract what I've just said.
Just retract what I said. But yeah, it was like it was like this link and I just found the application form. My friend was like, you need to apply for this. And I'd never watched it at the time.
Oh, right.
But my friend loved Ibiza Weekender, and I had only done one series because I joined on the second one, and I just thought, I'll give it a go because I knew I was going to get sacked anyway, and I was looking for a new job because I worked at the Royal Bank of Scotland at the time.
Why did you know you were going to get sacked?
I used to get dragged into the office every single day.
About your attitude.
About my attitude, my behaviour.
Professionalism.
I was so unprofessional. And I just thought laughing in a bank isn't that hard, isn't that bad, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's have a laugh in the RBS. Let's spice the Royal Bank of Scotland up a bit.
Let's laugh about notes and coins. Come on.
Yeah, I used to deal with ISA accounts.
Oh.
So like people where they'd saved thousands and like transfer it, sort the tax out. And I must have messed up everybody's banking.
Right.
So if you did used to bank with RBS in 2013, I apologise.
This is your formal apology.
Yeah, if you've lost a lot of money, I didn't steal it. But yeah, anyway, then I applied for it, filled in the application form. It was literally like 3 questions and a picture.
Right. And that must have been what sold it.
Yeah, the picture definitely sold it. And I was like, as an 18-year-old, like looking gorgeous. And yeah, I literally filled it in, and then I didn't hear anything for like 6 months. I'd forgot about it. I got a new job at the time, and then they just rang me out the blue and was like, do you remember applying for this? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that was like months ago.
As if they left it 6 months.
Like literally, it was months.
Yeah.
Like I think this was like the September time. It must have even been longer. I don't think I heard back till like the April, May the next year.
That is mental.
Yeah, like so long.
So then you went to this like audition?
Yeah, so there was like, I had my first one was over the phone.
Right.
And I worked at O2 at the time.
You were just making your way around the high street.
Yeah. And I was like, oh God, they're going to use up all my dinner break. It better be worth it. So anyway, it looks like it was worth it. And yeah, I just had a phone interview. They asked me loads of questions, and there was like a couple of days later, they rang me again and was like, we want to speak to you again, but face to face.
Yeah.
So I went to a hotel in Manchester where they were doing auditions, and I basically just sat there. And then there was like 2 women and a camera, and they basically just asked me everything that I'd just done over the phone, but face to face. And then there was like, we've also seen on your Facebook that you like dancing. And I was like, I'm just going to stop you there. Not professional, not trained. Just me thinking I can twerk on a night out and slut dropping that.
As if you'd put that in your bio.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm not a dancer.
Dancing.
Yeah, no, I was like I just on a night out when I'm pissed, basically, like nothing like insane. And there was like, yeah, can you dance for us now in the audition? And I was like,
no, they fucking didn't.
Yeah. Tess.
Did you have to bust out some kind of choreography?
2 full songs I had to dance to.
I dread to be. So that footage must be somewhere.
Oh yeah, they've got it somewhere. But I was like, I'd need to see this footage back. But the originally they went, can you dance for us? And then they didn't actually want to put music on.
No.
And I was like,
I'd have literally thrown myself out the window.
I was like, yeah, can I put a song on? They was like, oh, do we have to? And I was like, kind of, yeah. I feel like I'm not going to get the vibe.
You're not going to pick up on any vibes to silence.
Yeah, so I had to dance to 2 full songs.
What were the songs?
It was Gecko Overdrive, that I can't stop this feeling, baby, only you can. And then Trini Dem Girls by Nicki Minaj.
This all sounds awful.
I mean, it seemed to be all right, though, because I then got a phone call a few days later and was like, you've made it to the final stage in the audition and you need to come to London. I'd never been to London before. I had to actually get the producer to meet me at Euston.
Because you didn't know how to navigate.
I didn't know how to get the tube and get from here A to B. And then there was like 6 of us in a room and we had to do like icebreakers.
Oh, that's my hell.
And there was like, put yourselves in order from like, who's the most funniest? And like, I was like,
there was only one answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was like, who's the best on a night out? Who's most likely to pull? Just all them types of questions. Then I literally got a phone call again a few days later and was like, we'd love for you to be one of our reps on the show. I was actually in TGI Fridays car park at the time. Going for a meal with my brother.
Going for some Jack Daniel's strips.
Yeah.
Your brother, your twin.
My older brother.
Oh, because something I was going to say is lots of people don't know this about you. You have a twin. An identical twin.
Not identical.
Not an identical
We're actually nothing alike.
Yeah, no, but you're from the same egg that split. You just don't look alike now. Or were you two separate eggs?
Two separate eggs.
Oh, right. I
So we're
thought
non-identical.
Oh,
like
I thought-
polar opposite. Like
Yeah.
made probably different wombs.
No, it wasn't a different womb. It was
Could be.
same time, both snuggled together.
Yeah.
But he's just like, you do have a look of each other though.
No, we look nothing alike, Tess.
You do. He just doesn't have a tan. He just doesn't have a tan. He's straight and he doesn't have a tan.
He's also got lighter hair and blue eyes.
Okay.
But also, him and my older brother look similar. I
Right.
look different.
You're the black sheep.
I'm adopted.
Right, okay. Both in personality.
Yes.
And yeah. But yeah, so going back to the TV thing, so that's how you got onto I Beat the Weekender. And then obviously that's like a secure job for you then, because then you're invited back.
It was, but only after a couple of years, because a lot of people just go and do one series.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many reps in total, but like so many people just do one and then go.
Yeah.
Because I like took the place of two of the new boys from the year before.
Yeah. Did you have to have a job in between? So when you weren't filming, you had to come back and like return to normality?
Yes, I was like, I didn't really know what the situation was going to be like when we got back. I was like, I don't really know. Obviously, especially up until it airing, because people still didn't know.
Yeah.
But I just got a job at a pub near my mum's.
Yeah.
And I just used to work like Monday to Thursday during the day.
Pottering around.
Yeah, if there was like weddings or a funeral or a christening, I just used to work behind the bar. 8 tips were good.
Were they?
Yeah.
I bet they were.
Yeah, really, really good.
Really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it picked up a bit. And
Yeah.
now, like, you've done Celebs on the Farms, Celebs Go Dating. You've done it all.
I've done quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, what's the plan? What's the long-term plan? Just make enough money that you can chill?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think everyone would love to do that, wouldn't they? But
Yeah.
I did present a dating show for ITV2 called The Cabins. I did 2 series of that and I absolutely loved it.
You flourish.
Yeah, so I'd love to start presenting again or do something, but like we've said, it's not.
It's not just like...
I want to do presenting. Okay, well, we're going to make a TV show for you.
Yeah.
It's not that.
It's not.
It's really not
and
that.
In the people that are in the kind of like long-term contracts, like you're like, I know his name's trash now, but like you Philip Schofield as an example
Yeah.
before he was hated by the public. But like stuff like that is so hard to come by.
Yeah.
Even like Kem off Love Island, who I thought was hilarious. And I
Yeah.
was like, he'll definitely get something. And
Yeah.
he's had bits and bats, but he's not like solid
No.
on...
I am really lucky because I have done loads of shows.
You have?
Like loads, especially like, consider I started in 2015, so that's 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I've done so much, and I was actually just in London last week filming and this week filming, which was good as well.
Yeah. What is your experience, if you don't mind sharing? You know, with like, do you get like no advice on how to like look after your money? Do you, like, or do you get support about it?
With Weekend, they were always really good with us, and like we always had like a point of contact no matter what.
Yeah.
And even like when the show, even after filming and between it actually airing, and then even after, we'd always had a point of contact.
Yeah.
Especially for me as well, because after a few years I knew that I was going to obviously keep doing Weekender.
Yeah.
So there was always just a person there. And then like as soon as one finished, they were basically getting ready. And if like an exec or a producer had changed, they'd just introduce themselves to me anyway.
Right.
But it's a struggle. Like it's really, really hard. Like people think that the second you've been on TV, you walk out and you're a millionaire, and that is not it at all.
It's not. And if anything, especially if you go on to like a show like Geordie Shore that's quite risque and you swear every other word and you're getting drunk and stuff like that. If you get invited on for one series and then you get dropped, it could actually affect you getting a job.
Of course.
Surely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because even though they're not allowed to judge, a lot of companies will judge you
Of
on
course
that.
they will, yeah. I mean, I went to a party to do with MTV in Newcastle, and there was quite a lot of the Geordie Shore like cast there.
Yeah.
And one of the cast members had just been told that they had been dropped, and they were like beside themselves.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to them about it, and I'm not going to like mention any names or anything
Yeah.
like that, but they were literally like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like, distraught. And I actually thought, this is the part that you don't see. You
No.
see it like being absolutely mint, and
Yeah.
they're making loads of money and they get drinks for free and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And actually,
But I think 9 times out of 10 people don't help themselves, because people love to show the flourished, gorgeous, rich lifestyle on Instagram. So so in hindsight, it's not really, like, it's pretty obvious why people would have that opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Like, a lot of people from TV do show, like, this in Dubai, or, like, I went to the Maldives, look at this, and obviously...
And a lot of it's gifted.
Yeah, it's gifted.
Yeah.
But then people obviously see that and think they've got to be rich.
Yeah.
And that is not the case at all.
No.
But I just feel like, it would be nice if, like, more people were more authentic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it's more relatable for viewers.
Yeah, like I remember when Lewis Capaldi had released like a couple of his first songs and they were like really growing in popularity.
Yeah.
And he did like a radio interview that I listened to and they were like, so, you know, you must be buzzing. And he was like, I'll be buzzing next year because then I get paid for the songs. He was like, I'm still skint living at my mum and dad's this year.
Yeah.
And people were like, what? You've got 2 #1 songs?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but in this kind of like industry, it takes 12 months for it to like build traction.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy because now he'll be worth however much. But
yeah, but people obviously as well, especially in music, people just taking cuts here, there and everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because he'll have wanted to push himself to get to #1.
Yeah. But I would say that was like my experience when I did like, because I did like bits and bats, like I said, of presenting. And it was like, get paid a day rate. I don't even mind sharing how much I used to get paid. I used to get paid like £200 a day and then all my expenses paid for.
Yeah.
So when I was posting on Instagram, people were like, you're smashing it.
Yeah.
Because I was at a 5-star hotel that I hadn't paid for, drinking drinks I didn't pay for, and getting paid.
Yeah.
And I think people were like, you have made it. And I thought, actually, I'm fucking in my mum and dad's bedroom at home.
Right.
And that's like the reality of it. And I just thought it'd be an interesting angle.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I moved out. I mean, to be fair, I used to also work seasons abroad in Magaluf as well.
Oh, did you? Like anyway?
Yeah, so I didn't really see the point in me ever buying my own place because I was away from home like March till October.
Yeah.
So I never really saw the point. But then when I stopped doing that, I was like, right, I kind of need to move out. And I'm like, do I even have the money to do that?
Yeah.
Like, even though I'd done like 3 series a weekend, like, do I have it yet? No, I actually don't have it yet.
Yeah. And that's like what we were saying about you getting advice from Weekender and they were really good with you. Now that you're a bit older and a bit more experienced, you've got that kind of like advice and a bit of a nest egg to kind of...
Yeah.
But it's a shame because a lot of the people that do go on TV or get chosen for TV get chosen because they are a bit scatty and erratic and bad with money and etc.
Yeah.
It's almost like those people because they have the funny personalities, don't they? The chaotic individuals.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like I said, with Weekender, they always really looked after me. And to be fair, like other shows that I did after that as well, I was really looked after and they did help us. And we always knew like there was like a psych, if we needed to speak to a psych or welfare person.
That's so good.
But like, I guess I'm quite lucky because I've done quite a few shows and I feel like I've always been really well looked after, which is good.
Yeah.
But I think also when you've got an agent, that also helps because, you know, you can always speak to them, especially if you have a good relationship with your agent.
Yeah.
Like I do. My agent's like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I love her.
And is she like, so how does it work? Does she find you work? You don't even have to do anything now.
So I don't really have to do much. Like that's kind of like her job is to find me work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have such a good bond as well, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then she works alongside another agency as well, and they might look out for work for me as well.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah.
When it's not you looking for your own work. You're not on Indeed. They're on Indeed. Hello. But yeah, do you ever like struggle with your like mental health? To do with like work related, or are you quite fortunate that you just like...
No, I am a panicker when it comes to work because I started working when I was like 13.
Yeah.
I've always worked, and I've found like in TV, like I could have filmed Weekender for a month. Then what am I doing for the other 11 months?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then that's why I was like, I'm just going to have to work in Magaluf as well just to earn money, but then also doing something fun and what I'm going to enjoy doing. But like mentally, I would say my mental health's all right. Like I feel like
you're quite strong.
Yeah, I am quite strong, but sometimes that's not good. Like
why? Because you're in Delulu.
No, like if I just want to like break down and cry, that's just not going to happen. Like my tears don't turn on.
Do they not?
No, like I never.
And do you actually crave that sometimes? Do you think I just want to feel?
If I'm like really angry or upset about something, you know when people say if you just have a good cry, you're going to feel better. I just think. I can.
It doesn't come out.
Like I just think, like, I try and just like just get a tear, but nothing's falling.
You're like Cameron Diaz in The Holiday.
Yes.
When she's like...
Yeah, when she's like trying to force a tear out. That's me.
can't.
I can't do it.
What star sign are you?
Taurus.
Oh, okay.
Does that say a lot?
No, you're just an earth sign.
Just nothing, actually.
There's nothing about you.
Nothing.
No, you're just an earth sign, so you're quite grounded. So there's no that dramatic level of like a fire sign or a water sign. Like I'm a
Right.
water sign and I'm in the depths of despair if something goes wrong.
Okay.
You're quite grounded.
Yeah,
Quite
okay.
middle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good place to be. It's a very good place to be.
Good.
But we briefly discussed actually before the cameras were rolling about your current love life.
Dead. Dead.
How single are we talking?
Like embarrassingly
No.
single. Like not even texting like one person.
Oh, well, it's cuffing season.
It's cuffing season.
And you need a big boy.
And I want a big boy. Give me a big boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need that.
You need that. You just need someone to snuggle in and bin.
Yeah, but then I just think, do I though?
Yeah.
Because
You are an independent woman.
it's draining. Dating in this day in life is draining.
Yeah.
It's everything, and like the dating apps have ruined it.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, where are the days when we used to go out and meet people, but I'm not even old enough for that, so I don't know. All the dating
God,
apps
I miss those days.
where we used to write letters to each other.
And I did say to you before as well, I was like, if you want, I'll mention it on the podcast and then see if someone reaches out. And he went, yeah, but the thing is, if someone DM'd me, I'd air them anyway.
Yeah.
So don't reach out, basically.
Yeah, unless you're absolutely gorgeous.
Unless you're a 10 out of 10. What was the word you used before? Dishy.
Dishy.
Unless you're a bit of a dish.
If you're a dish, DM.
If you're minging, no offence.
Like, if you're like,
It's not in the script.
No, it's not in the script.
That will not be in the
If
script.
you're over 35, DM.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I don't like younger.
Do you know, I actually have a little thing for Simon Cowell. Is that a bit of you?
No.
Right. I was going to say let's share him, but
No.
no, he can just be
No,
mine.
yeah, you can have, yeah.
Who's your dream
I'm
man?
thinking, I'm more like Gary Barlow.
Ew.
Are you joking? He gets fitter as he gets older.
No.
Yeah, Gary Barlow is
Gazaby.
sexy.
Gazaby.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
That is me.
Right, we'll share him.
Yeah, Idris Elba. Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Bit of me.
Yeah. So you do want a big boy for
I
cuffing
do,
season.
I do want a big boy. Give me a big boy.
So you heard it. So what is coming up next for you? Have you got a panto booked?
I'm actually not doing panto this Christmas.
What is that?
For the
Just because you
first
didn't want
time in
to?
years. Well, I'd just done an adult tour
Right.
at the end of last year. Then I went straight into Christmas panto Snow White. And then in January, straight off the back of me finishing Snow White, I actually went into the Little Mermaid tour.
In January?
Yes,
Does
I
it
did.
pop off in January?
Oh, it was adult again.
Oh, the adult one's always
So I did
pop.
adult tour, Christmas panto, adult tour. So when the conversation was about, I was just kind of like,
I've had enough.
yeah, I said to my friend, I was like, I can't do it.
No.
Even though it's not till December.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it.
Well, this is the thing as well that we didn't mention before about panto. It is so fucking intense.
Like, the most intense.
You literally do a 2-week solid rehearsal where
Yeah.
you're in every day,
Yeah.
like 8 o'clock in the morning till whenever.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job
It's
and
a
it's
full-time-
not as easy as everybody thinks it is. It literally is though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got all the drama that comes with it. So you do 2 weeks solid rehearsal and then you're literally on stage doing 2 to 3 shows a day.
Mainly 3.
Mainly 3.
Mainly 3.
For 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on how long the run is. And in that time, you like basically sign your life away. So unless it's like Christmas Day,
Yeah.
you have no day off.
Oh, no, literally.
So you're literally, by the end of it, we were all snapped. We hated each other. I had acne.
And I put on 5 stone from drinking that much Lucozade and Pepsi Max and snacks. Like, I was like, if I don't have sugar, I'm going to pass out. So I put on about 5 stone.
I put on weight in
And
panto
people
as
were
well.
like, you're going to lose so much weight in panto. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I literally come out and I was like...
Piled it on. It is true though, because you'll be like rehearsing all day and then it'll get to like 5 p.m, no one's eating and they'll be like, right, everyone's got 7 minutes to go and get food. And I'd be like, right, I'll have to
Mackey's,
get a
every day,
McDonald's.
go to Mackey's.
I'll have to get a McDonald's and a Greg's for dessert.
Yeah.
Greg's for dessert.
Yeah.
So yeah, people don't realise how intense it is. And I remember when I told my friends, I was like, yeah, 3 shows today. And
Yeah.
they were like, sorry?
What?
And I was like, yeah, so it's like the school show at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Then it's the matinee and then it's the evening
Yeah.
show. And then we'd go out and get pissed.
Yeah.
How do we still look so young?
It's beside
We
me.
look 18. We literally do.
Look fresh out of the womb.
But yeah, so it's been absolutely flipping stunning having you
Gorgeous.
here.
Gorgeous.
Have you enjoyed
Enjoy what?
being here?
Yeah, I'm just obsessed with the couch.
David walked in and he was like, where have you got that couch from? Send me the link.
Gorgeous.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you
It's
know what? It
just
was a bargain.
It looks snuggly.
It's the snuggly vibe,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, so if you would like to see David back for another episode of Lives, Thrives and Mental Health Dives.
They probably don't.
They probably do.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Right.
The people voted for you.
Right, so I was thinking this. When you actually DM'd me saying the people have spoken, I thought, how many?
About 2,000.
That is
I'll
a
show
lie.
you. I'll show you.
That is a lie.
It's not. I put the poll on, like, so people could vote.
Mm-hmm.
And the front runners, I think you were second
Wow.
with like 2,000 votes for like, get David. So when I said the people have spoken, they have.
They
and I've
had
delivered.
actually spoken. And
They'd spoken.
I had no
I love how we
faith
could just
in-
keep doing
flicking.
that.
I've got no hair to flick, but I just want it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. It's been flipping stunning.
It's been gorgeous.
And tune in next time for more Lives, Thrives and Mental Health Dives. Goodbye. I can't have him.